Happy Tuesday, guys. We are back with another live chat. I'm excited about this one. We have a fabulous person on tonight. hmm Come on in. Once you come in, make sure you share so that everyone can join and be able to hear from our guest tonight. Whew. Let me know when you're here. Say hi. What's going on? How's your Tuesday? Anyone eat tacos? Or not? Hey, Chris. Hey, Antonio. Oh, Chris, we know you're here. The producer behind the scenes. What's going on, everyone else? Make sure you share the live, put it in your groups, put it in your pageant groups, all of that. We love to get our guests out there so that their stories can be heard. Hmm. So, house announcements Renaissance, November the 23rd and 24th. If you are a contestant, you will start on Saturday with interview. And then after interview, we have like a harvest Thanksgiving um, dinner. So, you're invited to that. The next day will actually um, you will do evening gown, swimsuit. It is comparative talent, and then panel crowning. So that's November 23rd, honoring the entire Renaissance Court, myself, Wendell, aka Fashe, Vanessa Frost, as well as Scooby Lord West. Other than that, we will see everybody at NBU. I will be at EOY. Hello, Flame. We love your support, Flame. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Raven. If you are on the live, please share it to your page so that everyone can get it out. Hello, Reggie. Other than that, there's no really house news. Like Blaine has said, 3 weeks till election. Make sure that you're voting. I think some people are doing early votes. I think I saw Georgia. You could go do early. So I do know. Let me say this: we vote the Tuesday after MBU. So we don't want anyone to get caught or get lost or forget to go back home. After you done did the Monday night show and then saw the new rulers, and then you like, ooh, let me go back home. So if you can early vote, go ahead and do it, get out of the way so that you ain't got to be rushing back home from Atlanta, Georgia, especially if you're like Flame all the way in California or somewhere. So make sure that you are do that if it is allowed in your state. Go ahead and get it out there. Hey Trey, you voted today, Johnny. Okay, so yeah, good, good. Just want to put it out there. Make sure this is very, very crucial. We hear that every year, every 4 years. This is a crucial election. Nah, this one probably is very crucial. So make sure that you are doing your due diligence and you are voting. I want to do something. So I think I want someone to interview me. Who do y'all want to interview me? Drop the names or whatever, inbox. Towards the end, we'll have someone, well, not interview, we don't like to call it interview, have a conversation with me and see what if they can pick my brain. So if y'all have anyone in mind, I think that would be fun to kind of turn the tables. It could be someone that we've had on, or it could be someone else. But we would love to have that just to kind of play it. Other than that, no house announcements besides Renaissance. Of course, I am Miss Duval Plus. If you are interested in supporting the campaign, um, doing Duval, get your t-shirts. You want Flame to interview me? I don't know. Flame might get me. I might be a little scared. You should see how like some of the guests come on here and be like, I'm nervous. I don't know. Before now Flame might have she might trip me up, baby. So yes, and don't forget to check your status for voting because I did hear with some crazy stuff going on. people's was something about people's things were not going on. You want Paris to interview me? Okay, yeah, I love the conversation with Paris. It got me in some trouble, but I don't know why. I thought she was good. I thought we asked all the great questions, but apparently you can't please everyone. So, yeah, but yes, just vote, 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 vote. If you're coming to NBU, make sure you give me a hug. I would love to see everyone there. That can. Shouts out to all of my sisters and brothers and friends and cuckoo that's competing. It's going to be a great battle. Um, and that's that. I don't want to keep her any longer because she is on time and she is prompt. I'm going to go ahead and bring on our guest. As you all know, we have the iconic, legendary Mokha Montrese on tonight. So she is in the wings. Chris, I know you're going to do your part. And we're going to bring her on because I know she probably has a lot to do. You know, she's a working lady. She probably has to be up in the morning. So let me bring on the lovely Mokha.
Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I am blessed. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you.
You look amazing.
Thank you so much. I just had a long day at work.
You had a long day at work. Well, I'm glad that you were able. Listen, we say 60 minutes, but sometimes if the conversation is great, it goes longer. We've had right at 60 with some people, and we've had 3 hours with others. So, whatever you want to share with us, whatever you want to talk about, we are here for it. We just
Okay.
want to say thank you. When we compiled the list of icons and who we consider icons and legends, because we do understand that it's subjective, you were definitely on the
Yeah.
list. You were a little apprehensive at first.
Very.
And rightfully so. We understand that sometimes you don't know what's going to come of this, but we
Right.
promise to make it very positive and your story to be heard. So thank
Okay.
you for giving us this opportunity to talk to you, Mocha.
It's my honor. Thank you so much for having me.
So just start with something easy. What was the pit and peak of your day today?
Waking up, going to work, serving my families, doing what I love to do now. I guess the pit is I haven't had lunch.
You haven't eaten all day?
No, I haven't. I just had tea.
Oh, what kind of tea?
I had hibiscus, something
Ooh,
called
yes.
passion, and like a lemon tea mixed together with lemon.
And you're able to run off of that all day, Mocha?
Yes, yes,
But you're a trained dancer, so we'll get into that because I'm sure that
yes.
has something to do with
I'm
it.
getting in shape for my pageant, so yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Take
Okay.
us back, Mocha. Take us back to your childhood. Tell us how life for you was growing up.
Life for me growing up was very good. I come from like a middle class family,
Okay.
so we were always encouraged to explain ourselves, to always put your best foot forward, and education
Hmm.
and family first, and well, God and then family.
Got
Yeah.
you. What were some things that you were involved in as a child? Like, what did you do?
Church, dance, more church, just with the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Church and family.
Yes.
Okay. So, how many siblings do you have, or are you the only child?
No, five.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you the oldest,
I'm the
youngest,
only
or
special daughter.
exactly the special daughter?
It didn't
So
start out
growing
that
up,
way.
So growing up, you did church, you did family. When did Mocha Montrese come about? Tell us about that.
Oh my God. So Mocha came about as a joke.
Oh,
As a professional dancer, I had met dancers when I was working at a theme park in Tennessee.
okay.
And they were dancing for girls like Rita Ross and Shelley Stone and all these old girls back in Nashville. They would always ask me to dance, but that wasn't I didn't see that. And then
Okay.
I moved to Alabama to work for the state.
Oh,
And you know how you just sit around and do the house parties?
Yes.
with the towel on your head and all that stuff.
Yes. Yes.
That's how it started.
Okay. So you went from, because you're originally from New Orleans, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you went from New Orleans to Nashville. Was that for
No, it was
education or
from
just?
New Orleans. I went from New Orleans to Nashville to Boston,
Oh.
to Montgomery to Atlanta to Florida to Indianapolis to New York back to Louisville. Yeah.
So you are very well traveled, to say
Yes,
the
I
least.
am.
And where are you currently now?
I'm in Chicago, the Windy City, for 13 years.
Okay. Okay. Would you say that Chicago is your favorite city or no?
Chicago is the most beautiful city to me.
Okay.
My favorite city would be Louisville because the people love me there and it was always home. New Orleans was that's my place. That's my spirit. That's who I am. NYC, all the places really. Yeah, Atlanta.
Okay. So when you started as a joke in the house pageants with the towel on your head to be Mocha Montrese,
Uh-huh.
when did you start to think this could be something that I can make a career of and be
Never,
serious about?
ever, 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 ever. That was never a thought. That was never on my radar. It was a joke.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So when did it happen for you that it became serious? Because clearly you are the Mocha.
Well, okay. So being a professional dancer is all you always train to be the best. Very competitive. I think a friend of mine asked me to do a pageant. Uh, well, we have to go back.
Yeah,
So
go
I
back. Tell
I
me.
was working out. I was working with the dancing doll, well, the Stingettes at Alabama State. I was teaching
Yeah.
dance. I was also coaching young ladies for Miss Alabama US of A and Miss Alabama America. Can you hear me?
Now he needs to put his phone on mute because we
Oh,
can hear all
okay.
the background. Go
So
ahead.
I was looking for gowns, right, for my contestants. Someone said, "Oh, we know these guys who make these gowns," and yada yada yada. So that's how I met Fat Boys.
Yes.
And through Fat Boys, that's how I got into the drag scene, really, working for them, helping them. And then I did Miss Alabama, US of A. And then it was like,
It just snowballed from there. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so you never imagined that you would be this legendary person that you are today. That never crossed your mind.
No, never, ever, 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 ever. And so that's what I want
So
to talk about too, because people always say, "Oh, Continental, Continental, Continental." My transition had nothing to do with Continental. My drag career had nothing to do with Continental. It was all about me.
right. So because you did not want to or did not think that you would be serious with drag, what were you inspired to be as you were growing up when you were in those stages of in Montgomery or Nashville? What was your career path
Well,
that
I
you?
was still dancing. I was still dancing professionally. I was still doing like industrials, like shows for conventions and traveling and stuff like that. I was teaching dance.
Oh,
I worked with the ballet company there, so I still was doing those things. All that changed when I met Sarah Fox. And then she said, she used to call me Thing because I would drive her around all over in Florida
yes.
and Alabama. And she said, Thing, you should get your little cheeks done. And so once I started that transition, Mr. Franklin wasn't looking the same anymore. And so that's how it all snowballed. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then you started to transition, and
Uh-huh.
I know that you've been open about this. We kind of share a similar story. How
Yes.
was it with your family when that began?
It was rough. It was no communication. However, my mother, because she knew,
Hmm.
she supported me financially,
Oh.
but she just didn't
Oh.
want to see it. I didn't tell my father nor my siblings. When I would go home, I would like tape down and wear the big old Jamaican hats and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. How did that make you feel?
Um, I it would no particular way because as long as I had some type of connection to my family, I was good. I would
Okay.
go do what I had to do, and then back to my life.
That is your life. So was it a sense of, because I remember when I was going through that with my parents, they said
Uh-huh.
you were evasive in your transition. You weren't forthcoming. You didn't tell us, so we didn't know what to expect. Was it the same way with you, or were they immediately just like, no, we don't want anything to deal with it. You live your life there. When you come here, you have to be this way.
No, they didn't see it coming because that's not who I was. I was never a gay boy that hang in the gay clubs or hang with the sissy girls or the bush queens or the bunnies, whatever. I was never
Okay.
that type. I was always in school. I went to dance class. I was in church. I was always protected from that scene.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
I always tell people you have to be careful who your friends are because your friends can lead you to a place where you should have never gone.
I, do you think that has happened to you?
Oh, I know so. And I speak
Oh,
about it, of course. Yeah.
okay. Tell us about that.
Um, so when I got hooked, when I became friends with fat boys,
Okay.
um, they had a lot of girls coming in and out, renting gowns and buying gowns. My friend that was friends with him was Joe. He was the one who was like, "Girl, you need to, you should do this. I got the money." So he put up the money, and that's how um, just it happened. I don't know. It just really, really happened at a crazy time in my life.
Hmm.
Um, I got myself in a situation because I was green. Okay, I was really green. I
Right.
met someone who gave me a run for my money, and totally financially devastated me. And then also the other people that I was associated with. And I couldn't call home and tell my family what had happened because you know, they would have not understood that. And
Right.
so that's how I started doing shows.
Okay. Started. Do you remember your first number you ever did?
Huh. Oh, I'm a Who Woman, that little Thunderpuss 20-minute mix.
You
It
was
was
doing 20-minute
that
mixes
song.
back then.
Yes, yes, yes. It
Oh,
was that song. Yeah. That was my
okay.
first talent, I think. Yeah.
Oh, and your first pageant was the Alabama USA prelim.
In Birmingham at Club 21.
Did you win?
No, no, no. I was top 10. But
Okay.
it was a lot of ruckus. There was a lot of crazy stuff. So yeah.
Okay. So you were green, of course, to that as well. And then you just kept with it until finally, look at you now, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In between any of that, from your childhood to growing up, starting your transition with the Fat Boys, getting into the pageantry, just in that span, do you wish anything would have been different?
Well, no, because I'm grateful. God
Okay.
is good. He has worked it all out. I think if it will be one thing, is a wasted time. I think in 2018, I got a call from my sister that my mother and father had wanted me to come home.
Hmm.
And so that was a healing point for me, to go home. And my mother, was there. It was like with her arms open. I'm her baby, and like I've never given her any trouble, and she loved me. And then I asked where was my dad, and she said he's upstairs. So when I went upstairs, he was in the kitchen, and so he said, "What took you so long?" And he gave me a Barks root beer. Um, and so yeah, yeah.
So that was the men's. And how did that feel to be? I know it had to be freeing for you.
Yeah. I'm trying to hold myself together.
No, it's fine. This is an intimate conversation, so let it go if you have to.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, because all the things I've been through, all of the ups and downs, all of the loneliness, all of the depression, none of that mattered at that moment. A good girlfriend of mine, Opal Vandenhurst,
Oh, love her. Yes.
when we would talk, she would say to me that you can't change them because they know who you are, who you were born into. So when they call you the son or the uncle or the brother, that's who you are to them. You have to educate them. So I've been through that process with them, and I totally understand now what
Mhm.
she meant, you know.
Gotcha. So for anyone that may be watching or will watch in the future that is going through that with their parents,
Uh-huh.
their family, what advice, since you went through that and came out on the good end, what advice would you give them to
If
move
that's
forward?
what you really, really want, never give up on it. Never give up. When you when we're born as a male to our families, they have expectations. And in my case, when they don't see it coming and it happens, you have to really educate them and have empathy and compassion to help them understand that there was something going on that they couldn't help you with. This was just your journey.
Okay. If Mocha wasn't prior to you becoming the famous Mocha, if you didn't weren't a dancer traveling all over, what do you think you would have been as far as your career or as far as your life would have become?
I don't know because I've always I love teaching.
Ah,
Um, I love teaching.
so maybe a teacher.
Yeah, probably a teacher, but I was a dance teacher, so I mean that teacher's a teacher. Yeah.
Okay, now I just want to know for my own purposes. Tell us about the time that you were the director of the Sing Is. How was that for you?
That was amazing.
Okay.
Um, um, my girls were fabulous because not only they could buck, they had technique, and
Uh-huh.
technique is the most important thing when you're a dancer.
Right.
And
Okay.
they used to call me Mr. Frank Frank. And over the years, I reconnected with some of them, and now they call me Miss Frank Frank. So yeah,
Okay.
it's good.
Gotcha. Do you happen to just, I know you're a busy woman, but do you happen to just peep in and follow the girls now and maybe see them on the
Oh,
videos
I'm
and
not
stuff?
happy, baby. I'm not happy. I don't see none of my I don't
Why?
see any of my technique. I don't see the hands. I don't see the feet. I don't see the passe.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So let's get to know Mocha on a little intimate level. What is your favorite color?
Purple.
Purple. Passion. And mine is too. What is your favorite pastime?
Oh God. Protecting my peace. I like quietness,
O-
still.
Okay. Is that something that you've always been, or is that something that you accumulated throughout the years as you've gotten older?
I've always been. That's why I'm alive.
Okay.
Because I
Got
always know how to gather myself and remove myself.
Oh gosh, we'll talk about that. Um, what is your favorite city to visit?
My favorite city to visit. Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite cocktail?
Whew. Lemon drop.
A lemon drop. Okay. Who was your celebrity crush growing up?
Celebrity crush. Hmm. Billy D. Williams.
Oh, yes, he still is handsome, huh?
Yes, he was.
If you could pick any celebrity to be best friends with, who would she or he be?
Celebrity. Oh my God. It would be Debbie Allen.
Because of the dance.
Yes, and I love her passion, her drive. She's a great teacher. She has explore into being a director. So yeah,
Throughout the years, have you ever maybe met her or been in the same room with her?
not her, but Cheetah Rivera.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I
What
love
are
her
th-
too.
what are three things that you can work on about yourself?
About myself, patience.
Okay.
Uh, that's the only thing because I've learned to be a great listener,
Oh,
and I've learned. well, I have a gift to read people, so that
Mm,
helps me avoid situations. You know,
gotcha. Um, if you could live in any decade in the past, what would it be?
take me back to the early late '90s, early 2000.
Why? Tell us why.
Oh, that's my era, baby. That
Okay.
they made Mocha.
Okay.
You know, I've worked in most places that were complexes,
Hmm.
dance floor, showroom, restaurant. Um, that was, yeah,
Built your name. I gotcha.
yes.
Gotcha. What's your favorite food?
Gumbo.
Do you make it well?
I, darling, I do.
Well, you have to. I'm just saying, some people love it but don't know how to make it right.
Baby, I'm 504, okay?
Okay, gotcha. I heard that. That's good. Good to know. Good to know. Who is someone that you look up to, whether it was in the past or now?
Oh, look, there's so many.
Give us a few.
Ooh, let's see who. I don't want to leave anyone out.
Right. We understand that.
Okay. Chelsea Pearl, and there's a reason behind that.
Tell us.
Um, when I was in Florida, I was in a room. Let's say Legends. It was a bad situation for me at that time, and people were talking crazy to me, and I didn't say anything because I was trying to keep my job. And she looked over to me in the room of Legends, and she said, "Girl, you don't have to take that. If you come to my city, they would love you." So she went back to Indianapolis. She told Lana Eastman about me. And then like the next month, Lana, put a tour together for me, her and Chelsea. I stayed with Chelsea and Marcus at their home. And then I went to do the tour. It went fabulous. And then Lana offered me a job and took me from Florida to Indianapolis. So
Okay.
I look up to her. And she lived the same story we have with the family situation. So
Okay.
we had that
Oh,
connection as well.
right. She always had some beautiful garments. Oof.
Yes. My girlfriend, Nikki Dupree,
Hmm.
Nicole from Jersey, New York,
Hmm.
back in Atlanta. She's one of my sisters that, like, she never competed against me. She's fabulous. I love her.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If you could change anything about yourself, what would it be?
If I could change anything, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't because I am who I am. Um, I've taken the good with the bad,
Okay.
and I'm grateful for everything.
Gotcha. What is
I'm
your
just glad
passion?
that God allowed me um, to get back on track,
Gotcha. What is your passion in life?
to serve, to be a servant of God. I
Okay.
found my passion. When this situation happened to me, it was a divine intervention. Um, it was crazy. I had gone to a funeral with a girlfriend of mine. It was a young translator that was killed, and I knew her. And now I walk into church and I'm looking at her. She looked nothing like herself.
Hmm.
And at that moment, I said, God, I could do better myself. And it's like the steeple of the church just opened up and it was an moment. And I went I went to sit down. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. Not knowing I really was going to do this.
Right.
Go to school for mortuary science.
Right.
Um, and then every time, like 6 months passed, I did not apply to school. The voice again, I heard saying, "Thy will be done."
Mhm.
And so, yeah,
And you move forward. Now, when I know you said you were brought up in the church, and now you just told us about a little bit about the story, intervention, and you being a spiritual person. Has
yeah,
that ever affected you with so much that you've went through, like you may have questioned your faith when you were dealing with your parents' situation, or you were dealing with things like well, maybe this is not who I'm supposed to be? Has that ever crossed your mind?
Well, yeah, because I was born into the Catholic faith. My mother was United Methodist. My other family member was Baptist. I had all these different religions in my life. Um, that caused depression,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, that made things rough for me, you know.
Gotcha.
But I survived, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah. I have a question. First off, hey
Hello,
Mokha.
boy. Hello,
Sorry.
boy.
Hey, sorry, I'm late. Driving in. But away from that, I know that you are an absolute amazing dancer. So when you talk about your spiritual relief and you talk about protecting your peace, most dancers find their peace in dance. So is that a part of the is that maybe a major part of why you dance so often as Mocha on stage? Because that was your way of getting that energy out.
Well, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So did you find it hard when you became the director for the Stingettes? With you coming from such a formal dance background, were you used to that style of dance as far as the bucking?
I was not. However, I had technique and I was teaching technique. So there was a trade-off. By me teaching technique and floor and across the floor and stuff like that, I would say to the girls, now you give me 8 counts. And I perfect clean the 8 counts. And then I got somebody else say, you give me 8 counts. Now let's put these 16 counts together
So you married it.
completely, a complete blend.
Got you.
So when I see the girls now doing tricks and all that, I'm like, okay, darling. I mean, I mean, I butt like I used to, but I have technique.
Okay,
Gotcha.
you got it, Trinity.
Let's talk about the mortuary science and
Yes,
your new
ma'am.
career and your found out. There's a lot of things I want to unpack with you. So it was an aha moment when you went to a funeral that you said you wanted
Yes.
to do this.
Yeah.
Take us through that journey of school applying and how long it took. Take us through that first part of it.
You are really trying it. Uh, so, I knew it was for me because
We love these human moments. It's okay. I told you we was good. We got you.
in the process of school, my father was killed.
Oh,
So, I kept putting it off. I went to I got my requirements out the way, and then was in public health, and one professor was like, "Oh, Michelle, you should go into public health and take care of people." And I thought about that, and then God spoke to me again. Then my father was killed, and I was an intern in his embalming.
oh, wow.
So I felt like I went to the professor here in Chicago and explained to her that I wanted to be a intern and prepare my father's body. So she got in contact with the people in New Orleans, and I went in, and the guy said to me, the embalmer, he said, Dad is really messed up. And I said, yeah, I know. He said, you sure you got this? I said, sure. So I walked in, and I was looking, there was several bodies in there. I saw his foot. So, we pulled the cloth back, and then we began. And, he was a post-op because he had an autopsy. So
Oh,
at that moment, I was stellar. I didn't cry. I didn't say anything. And the guy kept whispering, are you okay? I'm like, sure. And after I finished, we finished embalming the prep. He asked me to explain to everyone who the decedent was to me. And I told them that was my father. And they could not believe because he had compound fractures and all, he was broken up really bad that I was able to do that. So at that moment, I knew that this was my calling.
Gotcha.
So I consider myself a wounded healer. Like I have feelings and things that I can't control or I can't express, um, but I could do that for others.
Oh, wow. Okay. So going through the process of, let's start with school. How long does it take for you to get your degree in that field?
Well, it takes 2 years for your associates,
Okay.
and it takes four for your bachelor's.
Okay. Tasha Long says you're her shiro with this
Oh, I
story.
love you. She always tells me that.
So going through the process and you going down to New Orleans and you are now doing your father's funeral and bombing, and now the light bulb has hit you that this is what you're called to do. How did you know that, or how did you continue to stay strong throughout that process? Because I guess a funeral takes 7 days to put them in. How did you continue to stay strong, or did you lose it? Did you
I
happen to have
I've
a?
never I like today is the first time I like swole up or felt some type.
Oh,
I've never had the opportunity to because when I went home, um, my mother, I saw death written all over her. Like her hypertension, she was never sick, but she had hypertension. They had been together for so long,
right.
that that bothered me. And then I had to take care of my siblings and I take care of my nieces and my nephews. So the whole thing
You didn't
changed.
have time to grieve, basically.
Never have. And I had to be there because my father always told me that what he wanted from me is to take care of my mother, my siblings, my nieces, and my nephew, and keep everybody together. So that's my
Oh,
job.
okay. Well,
I have
that's
a
a good
question
job.
about that. Uh, First off, thank you for sharing that.
Hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing that because most people probably just did not know that you had such an intimate part in his passing.
Uh-huh.
But my question for you about that was, do you feel like although it was in that situation of you being an intern and then bombing, was that somehow a closure for you also with him?
No, not with him because my father loves me. Oh,
Mhm.
it's because I prayed for so long that God would allow me to see my mother and my father before they died.
Mhm.
By me having that moment and all that time with like the 2 years I had with my mother and my father together, it
Mhm.
was like I was reborn.
Uh,
You know, it started after 2018. So during my Black American reign and um, after to 2021, I was. It was such a feeling I can't even explain it. It was just nothing really mattered. That's why I said before I have to keep my mind together because if not, I'll go into depression with wasted time.
yeah.
Right.
Um, if I can have that time back. So yeah.
Right. You're in it when it comes to the process of funerals and how a person may want to go out, or how the family wants them to go.
Right.
Loka, I need you to tell us the importance because we see this a lot, and I don't want to just say in this community is because it's everywhere, but I notice it very prominent in this community. We see this a lot where a lot of people don't have burial insurance or life insurance, and we have to do benefits and collect money, and we're our brothers and sisters keepers. And for me, I think that's very selfish because death is the one thing we all know is going to end up happening.
That's an
Tell us,
appointment. Yes.
tell us the importance of having those things lined up just in case something happens.
It's very important to have a pre need to make a plan, to make a payment plan, because you can make a pre-need and not pay for it. So then it's not a trust and it's not guaranteed.
Mm,
Uh, that's the most important thing. So you make a pre-need today, you lock in, you pay for it, you lock in at today's price. Every 6 months to a year, the prices go up.
gotcha.
It is very important. You have Catholic charities that may help, or you may have Salvation Army, or you would have to call on your church or, I guess, the community to
Hmm.
help you. But it's very important to have your pre-need taken care of.
Do you see when someone may not have that, is a lot of cremations that go on for the lesser value?
Cremation is just expensive,
Oh.
especially with, so cremation is final disposition. It's burial, cremation, or aquamation.
Hmm.
That's how you dispose of the body to put the body away. Um, Most people still want the traditional service.
Right.
So, depending on what state you live in, that's where your money will go
Gotcha.
towards the service. Cremation in the state of Illinois for permit, um, and where I work, we have a direct cremation, which is like 2,700 with an urn,
Okay. And that's without the
but no
service.
service.
Okay.
No
Gotcha.
service.
Okay.
Yeah.
um, how many services do you maybe do in a week?
Oof. Mm. On a good week, maybe 10, 12, and five on a slow week.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
with so many on a even on a slow week, you're constantly around death. You're constantly around what comes with death, the families, the grieving. How do you protect your mental, your emotional state of being with that?
I have empathy. I have compassion. I'm comfortable with death. Um, I could. I love embalming. Like right now, I'm doing most of my requirements. I'm doing my internship, so I'm doing most of my requirements for funeral directing. I love embalming because I could talk to the body when I'm embalming them. I can see the transformation of death over their body when I put the arterial solution in them. Um, it's like a pageant, like talent. A funeral is like the last dance. So having all the skills of the years of pageants and doing my own talent, I could produce a great celebration for my families. Like I
Right.
said, nothing is too small, nothing is too large. Um, I basically work 6 days a week,
Oh, yeah.
advocating for my family because that's my gift, that's my calling. It took me a long way to get there, all around the block,
Right.
but I'm finally
You got it.
here. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I'm working on now. I have my business plan with my own funeral home.
Right. Gotcha. I was going to ask that. Do you want your own or will you want to stay under someone?
It hasn't been easy, let me tell you. Being a
Okay.
special woman, it has not been easy. Um, just getting my requirements for school was hard. Members of the LGBTQIA were the worst to me. Um, the stigma about being a special woman or a trans woman, um, they don't think we're intelligent. We don't belong. Um, it was rough. But
Wow.
failing was not an option. They
Never
didn't know who,
is.
yeah, they didn't know who I was.
Mhm.
They don't know what I've been through. As Jasmine Bonnet would say, they have been walking my shoes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
I
Mocha,
Yeah.
go
love her
back.
too.
I heard you say you talk to the bodies. Now, what you be saying?
It's a spiritual thing.
Okay.
You know, yeah, it's a spiritual thing.
Okay. Well, when I first saw you doing it, going through mortuary school, I never get. It was probably 11th or 12th grade year, we have career fairs. And we had someone come over that was the funeral director. And he told us, you're gonna always have a job because it's always someone passing away. So you might want to, when we all want to go into PR or whatever, this is a job. But I look at it more with you as something that you're called to do, not just something that you can just collect a check from. So
It was a
I'm very,
divine intervention. It was
yeah,
definitely a divine intervention. I told you the church when it happened
yeah.
at the church.
Mm.
Yeah, it kind of scared me.
Did it?
But
Yeah, I was with this girl named Pat. You know Pastor Jackson?
Yes,
I
she's
was
on
with
here now
her
talking to you.
because I went because of her. Um,
Uh-huh.
and so she said next to me, I said, "Girl," and I grabbed her hand. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "I'm I'm gonna do this. God just spoke to me." She said, "I'm gonna go with you." But yeah, it was definitely divine intervention. And when I started doing my requirements for school, they were asking me like, "Who are you? Where are you from?" I was like, "This is divine intervention. It's not about the money because the money's gonna come."
Right.
Um, yeah,
well, I know you love praying. So I know one thing you be talking. I know you be praying with them bodies because you
all the
love a
time.
prayer.
I pray for the family too because let me tell you
Yeah.
something. Grieving and death could make a family fall apart for real.
Yes.
So when they come into my office, um, I have to give them a word. I don't get involved in family drama and mess. I try to make sure that we're on the same page,
Mhm.
compromise. Um, my nerves is too bad for that foolishness. I can't have I can't have that. No, I can't have that. No.
Okay. Well, that's great that you have found your passion and you are thriving in it. So kudos to you. Have you thought of a name when you do open up your own
Yeah,
service?
it's gonna be Franklin and Jones Funeral
Okay.
Oh,
Home,
Okay.
or it's gonna be sometimes when you purchase the funeral home, if you don't start from the ground up, it's best to keep the name of the funeral home because they have a legacy.
Uh-huh.
So maybe Jackson, and F and J Funeral Home, something like that. So yes.
What you spoke earlier about being a teacher. So once you get your own going, would you be open to being a teacher to those that might want to come over and do that?
Of course,
Oh,
yeah, of course.
okay. So y'all
I have
hear it here
25
when they're
hours before I get my bachelor's, so yes.
okay.
and there's also in the social work world, there's a class on death. I know someone that teaches it at Texas Southern, Dr. Gloria Petite Roberts. She's a social worker, but she teaches the class, and it just teaches you how to deal with death, how to process death. I can see you doing all of that because you are definitely a teacher by
That
nature.
comes
So
across when you're doing your arrangements. That's why I say, like, I talk to the family,
yeah.
pray for them, and guide them and lead them, because it's very important to like have again, listen to what they say and listen to what they do not say. It's very important to have that when you're dealing with families.
Gotcha. Let's play the game.
What's the game?
Whee! So remember, I was telling you we'll give you a word, a name, a place,
Okay,
person,
okay,
and you give
okay,
us the first thing that comes to your mind. You can elaborate on it if you want, or you can leave it as a closed-ended response.
okay.
Number one, the Fat
Who is
Boys.
this?
The Fat Boys of Montgomery, Alabama.
Good times,
Good times. Did
family.
they did they ever were any of their gowns winning gowns for you in any of your competitions?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I missed them. The
yeah.
city of New Orleans.
My spirit, darling.
How often do you go home?
It's been a year, but we talk every day.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. With you being a dancer, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear Alvin Ailey?
spiritual. I love them.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Louisville, Kentucky.
they made me. They really made me. They loved me. It didn't matter um, how many times I went to a pageant. When I would go back to work, you are the queen, baby. We got you next year. Whatever you want, we got you. Yeah. I
Wow.
don't think I would have won as many titles without Louisville.
Okay.
That
do
was
you
my
ever go?
place.
Do you ever go back, like to perform or?
No, the connection closed.
Okay.
So that era, that was the last super complex.
Mhm.
They had a theater, um, a restaurant, a bar. No, yeah, that was the last one for me.
Your daughter, Coco Montrese. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
My baby.
Your baby.
She's my second child.
Okay.
My first child was from Mobile.
Mm.
He had his PhD in education, worked for the
Mhm.
state, and
Mhm.
he was murdered during my reign for US of A.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
And I was sleeping when I felt like I was being shot, and I fell out. And when I fell to my side, I saw this car, and I felt like a blump blump. And then when I woke up, they told me that he was killed and he was ran over.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just have this. I have this gift that I don't know.
Okay. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Chicago?
Mm, beautiful city.
Mm.
It took me a while to get used of Chicago. Um, I never really wanted to move to Chicago. It
Mm.
was never my thing. No,
Would you move from Chicago?
I will soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Any any particular place, or you don't know
Back to
yet?
Nola, baby.
Okay. All right. Geisha, she coming back for you.
I'm not saying I won't have a business partner here and come back and forth, but I definitely want to go home and take care of my mom.
Gotcha. Understandable. Next, Rayshawn Montrese, your child, other child.
Talented.
Hmm.
Yeah. Rashawn is talented. Mulan is talented. I have a lot of kids. I have a lot that don't carry the last name because in other areas of life and do different
Right.
things.
Right.
Yeah.
When you think of the word death or death period, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
It's therapeutic.
Oh.
Dance is therapeutic.
Uh-huh.
To speak through the body, using your limbs. And that's what I always did. So when people say, oh my gosh, you bucking and dancing, I was crying.
Oh.
I was yelling from deep within, using my body to express that.
Mm.
Gotcha. When you think of the Stingettes, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Ladies, because thinking back in retrospect, like there was a girl and her name was Michelle, and she was like 6'1", and she was beautiful. Oh my God, she was so dark with this sleek black hair. And the girls would say, "Oh, she was too dark." I said, "No, she's not dark. She's Mocha." Got that?
Uh-huh.
Not thinking about that, subconscious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somewhere it was back there. What's my name? My government name.
Hmm.
So,
So is that where you got Mocha from?
Ah.
Yeah.
uh, that was the subconscious in the back of my head. Yeah,
And where did Montrese come from?
money, and a girl that I worked with, and was Treese, and it was money and Treese. That's how. Yeah.
Only you
Okay.
will come up with that.
Yes, I like you did that. I like that, Mocha. That was cute. And last but not least, we're going to dig deeper into these conversations as we go higher in the
Okay.
program. What
Okay.
is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of continental? Nothing?
Let's see. Mm.
You can, Mocha. We've already told you, you can talk. This is not. This is a safe space.
I know, I know, I know. So let's say I love Continental. Okay,
Mhm. Now tell
I
us how many
think
times you did it before you.
people, huh?
How many times did you do it?
Oh, girl, again, I don't even know, like 14, 15, 16.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Because it wasn't about Continental. I didn't even know what Continental was. It
Okay.
was something that my friends pushed me
Gotcha.
into doing.
Gotcha.
The first time I went to Continental, honey, I went there dressed as a boy, thinking I had a place to get dressed. And there was no place. I couldn't even compete that in my first year. Um, I didn't have stockings or anything. This Christina Piaget, I love her. She gave me a pair of stockings to try to help me get ready.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, those are stories, baby. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Um, Continental. Continental was hard for me because they didn't see me.
Mm.
That's why they yeah, Continental was hard.
As you were the queen, or as you was trying to be the queen.
Honey, once I won, I wasn't having that.
Oh,
You weren't gonna steal my joy. I
gotcha.
protected my peace. But prior to winning, it was rough. People would say to me, if they wanted you, they would have called you, but why keep coming back? You
Mm.
know,
Well,
I
that's a
had
good question.
people, I had people that would dress me, and I tell people all the time, be careful who you give your money to.
Oh,
Be careful because they're dressers and this, that, and the other doesn't mean they're a part of your team.
Whew. Yes.
So the last time when I got first runner up, it was a nightmare. And they said, um, she not coming back. Not one time, because mind you, my mind, right? I'm expressing when I'm there, what I'm going through. I'm part of a culture where back in the day, that's how we got bookings.
Mm-hmm.
We made a living.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when I was just tired. I was heavy. I was like, ugh. And I wanted to weigh in the water. It wasn't about them. It was that moment was about that I have arrived. Maybe you don't see me. You don't have to see me. I don't need you. I have God. I believe in myself. And so I put that title together. Um, and that night, because I left after talent, I was the last one before the break. People were coming up singing the talent. Yeah.
So, if you knew that you were going through so much all the years prior, and they didn't see it for you, why did you keep going back? What
It
was?
wasn't about them. I met some great friends.
Mm-hmm.
I got lots of bookings.
Mm-hmm.
People, I'm still, listen, honey, I'm still highly in demand. I just can't do it right now. Um, because of working, I mean, first it was school, now it's work. I just can't. I'm going to have some free time coming up. That's why I'm doing this pageant. Um, I want to make friends with a different group of people.
Right.
I've never celebrated my drag until 2018 with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So they're on this journey with Miss Gay America Film with me.
Mm-hmm.
It was never about Continental. Um, it really wasn't. Not at all.
Now that you know what you know or how you felt about it, would you do it again the same way?
If that's how my journey lead me,
Mm-hmm.
yes. But I want to tell people what they think is not what it is.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, say, well, you've done it 20 times. It was about Continental, darling. It was not about Continental.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't drink at that time. I didn't do drugs. So that was my escape.
Gotcha. Talk to us about US of A. How was that for you? Okay, so
Oh
you got a little, okay.
no, oh, because that was my first package system.
Gotcha. Yep,
Alabama, right?
Alabama. Alabama. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, it was worth the wait. Jerry was really awesome. Um, yeah, I miss him. He was a good guy. And let me say this. I love Felicia. I have a relationship with Jim where I have respect for him. But when he falls out with me and his friends get involved and treat me like I'm some kind of rug, and when he and I are friends again, I don't see them.
Hmm.
Jerry never had
Understandable.
that.
Gotcha.
Jerry never
Gotcha.
had that at all. He no. Mm-mm. When someone called and say Jerry, Mocha, blah 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 blah, or somebody made a post that sounds like it could be Mocha,
Mhm.
daughter. Yes, Daddy Bird. Is that you they're talking about? And once I told my side of the story, that was it.
Gotcha. EOY. How was that for you?
That was home. That's home. I mean, like, when I won Continental, I had left Louisville to move to Chicago.
Mhm.
The owners would not let me perform
Hmm.
at the Connection.
Okay.
After I gave up Continental, I happened to be going through Louisville, and the owner was like, "What are you doing, gal? You want to work tonight?" I said, "Sure." They put online that mother was home, honey, and the kids came, honey. And the intro played. I took me an hour and a half. No, I took maybe like 5 minutes to come down the stairs because my dressing room was way in the back. And with all these stairs. And the kids were like, now you home, baby, EOY. So yeah, EOY was amazing. I did not even, I could, I, whew, that night.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Black America. Talk to us about that.
Trinity. Well, okay. So I thought I never really wanted to be Black America.
Okay.
I was staying with Trey and Melvin and Chris and a couple more people. Melvin was supposed to do the Black America. Him and Trey got into a fight. Trey hit me and everything. So to keep the peace in the house, I did Black America. Had a great time. Um, Gerald and Ron, Gerald and Bryant
Yeah, Brian.
was amazing. I went interview, got second one out. I think I went back 2 or 3 times after that. I love Black America. It was a great reign because I am who I am. I'm me. So I travel a lot and I gave them exposure. I didn't go to as many places as I would want to have gone to because um, sometimes people don't see you. And so to protect your peace, I just didn't go because I know me,
Mhm.
you know?
Okay. So let's talk about the elephant on the phone.
Okay.
You've mentioned several times people don't see you. Um, who
So
doesn't?
what I
Who do
mean
you?
by that is
Yes.
there are a lot of people in the black community that tell other people that know me, oh, she's not for us.
Okay.
She's for them.
Mhm.
Um, and so I think that's just absolutely horrible
Do you
because
feel like you are rejected by your own and accepted by the others? Have you felt
have
that way?
always been have yes, yes,
Where
yes.
do you
Here's the
think that
thing.
comes from?
It stems back to I would have to say my friends, my associates in the beginning. Remember, I knew nothing of drag. I didn't have any type of relationship with anybody. But people just assume certain things about me without getting to know me. When I moved to Atlanta, the first night I was there, I did a talent show. It was me and Raquel Lord and somebody else. It was audience applause. I knew no one, but I won the talent show that night because that's how we got bookings back in the day.
Right.
Um, and then like the next week or so, I did a pageant for Miss National, and Charlie hired me. And so it was just maybe 3 black girls on the cast there, but all the other black girls were at Loretta's. I didn't really go to Loretta's. That's where the black girls were until Tina opened the door at the Armory.
Mhm.
Um, so I remember persons saying, well, they go do these white pageants and get to the back of the bus, but they should come over here. And I think that's where that stemmed from.
Gotcha. When you entered back, because you had been gone for so long, to Black America,
Yes.
did you come with a lot of anxiety? Was it hard for you to enter back into it?
No, because I was coming back on what I knew Black America was,
Gotcha.
but that's not what it is anymore.
Hmm. Hmm. True.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Do you think that because this stigma of you wanting to be over there has hindered you, or did that sometimes pull you back from getting what you wanted faster?
Now you already know. Uh, they tried that with me.
Mhm.
That's why I stopped coming around. I did my thing. I didn't feel the need to stay behind the line of the other girls
Mm.
because I didn't have a certain name. I wasn't with a certain group.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Mm-mm.
Gotcha.
No.
Did you ever entertain maybe the possibility of going on to do Miss Black Universe?
No.
Gotcha. Would you ever entertain going back to All American Goddess?
Hell no. Let me
Oh,
tell
we
you
have to
something,
ask.
honey. Let me tell you something. I have receipts, okay?
Okay, you got the receipts.
I You couldn't get me on stage for nothing. You gave me fifth or eighth in interview, child, please.
Mm.
Oh wow.
Gotcha.
No, no.
How is your journey preparing for Gay American Film? Tell us about that.
Well, since it's film, I feel good about interview. I feel good about talent. I feel good about it. I'm in a different place in my life.
Mhm.
They're getting a true woman that I am,
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
professional, well spoken, um, entrepreneur. Um, I've always wanted to do Miss America. I just couldn't at that time because even when I started my transition, I started right away.
Mhm.
And I got some stuff done. And they would say, well, you still could do it. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I know nothing weighs down. So my integrity wouldn't allow me to do it then.
Mm.
And now with this new category, trans women and cisgender women, it's going to be fabulous.
How do you feel about the cisgender women being able to do drag pageants?
Doesn't bother me because I'm a
Okay.
woman.
Okay.
So come on.
Come on.
Right.
Well,
Mother
lucky
got
for you,
body,
I'm gonna
darling.
be there.
Small waist. I'm on a diet.
Mocha, lucky for
Huh?
you, I'm gonna be there because I feel like I'm your good luck charm
You are my
because I was
darling.
blessed to be at Continental, at EOY, at US of A, and at Black America where you were. So you will
Yes.
win. I will be there. But
But
it's
let me say
always
this about Black America. Whatever happened at Black America, um, we have worked through that.
yeah.
The persons, because they realized that I wasn't who they thought I was.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
I did not perpetuate gossip and mess. That I didn't talk about them. That I had no harm or malice towards them.
Hmm.
And so, if you watched The Crowning of Black America, Um, when a certain person hugged me, it was genuine because I didn't even know the beautiful child because I never really kept up with the circuit. I was in my own thing. You know, the person who had, who was people who were yelling and screaming, you know, we cool.
Gotcha.
When I see them, say hi with
Yeah.
goodness in my heart for them.
Right.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go back to the blackness though, because for those of us that do know you and know you personally, we know that you are extremely black. Um,
Put
you
me,
dance in
darling.
your blackness. So, do you think that? Do you think that? I don't want to say they were robbed. I don't want to say you were robbed. But do you think that it was a missed opportunity when you were in those development stages because people had this pre notion, and so they didn't give you the opportunity to show them that I am just like the rest of y'all. Is just the opportunity for me is over there, and that's why I'm going over there. Because Coffee made a comment the other night at the pageant when we were judging, and they made a comment about she always was with the white kids, and she wanted the mic. She give me the mic, and she said I was working for money.
Yeah, that's what
I
my
wasn't working for color.
yeah. And so yeah, because like I said, the white kids. Let me say this. Let me go back. Let me get this. Let me clear this up for you. Listen good, okay? Because I was made a fool of by someone who was street savvy and took me for a ride. My vision was always in the club to look out for those who were in trouble, who didn't see it coming. So I was a whisperer.
Mm.
So these people, these white kids that were on drugs or an abusive relationship, what they were going through, they looked out for me. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when the music started, the kids line up from the front to the back. It's not about me. It's about what I've done for them. And people say all the time, "Oh my God, I love you, 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 I love you too." But I want you to remember this. I have a friend. His name is Jesus. He's high and look low. When I'm not around, he'll always be there for you. Do not let anyone,
Absolutely.
whew, do not. And that's why I would tell them that, and I tell them that now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Well,
people don't understand that.
I'm glad you were able to clear that up because, there had been something that had been on talked about, she didn't like, but I'm good.
But the black kids, I'm gonna say this, Kamaya, she said the same thing to me. She thought one thing about me. But after interacting with me,
Mhm.
I love her. I never knew her because I never watched the other Apache systems.
Right.
But
Right.
we had an incident that could have turned out really bad one
Hmm.
night at the Bourbon Pub, where Mercedes thought that I had moved her stuff, and I did not. Someone else had moved her stuff in the dressing room, right? So she goes down and she's heated. She's mad because I'm Mocha Montrese. Whenever I go home, I get a whole weekend.
Right.
The black girls are saying, um, well, if she get this, I should get that. I'm Mocha from Atlanta. I'm Mocha from Montgomery. I'm Mocha from Florida. I'm Mocha from Indianapolis. I'm Mocha from Louisville, from New York. So people have seen my transition. So when they hear I'm coming, they want to say, that's the same girl? Yeah, that's me, honey. From this to that. I think sometimes the younger generation don't respect girls who came before them. Back in the day, we respect the girls who came before us, you know?
Gotcha.
So when it happened, I was trying to explain to the manager when he came up what happened, and Kamai got all upset, like, don't talk about Merce. And I'm like, I'm not talking about her. I'm trying to explain. Um, it was resolved, but that situation could have gotten really bad. I remember one night I was singing Tina Turner. I can't. I can't remember. It could have been like Rolling on the River, whatever, because I did karaoke on Thursdays at the club, and my people that was there to see her, they were saying horrible things during the show because I was singing the song. That's not her song. Maybe that's her illusion. And I think we were in Atlanta, and they got there to the show, and I think they needed a place to sit, whatever. Or we went to eat, and I invited them, or I made a room for them, and they were like, "Oh, I don't hold malice in my heart. Life is too short. You should not ever, ever, ever hold malice in your heart. You have to be careful of the words you say to people. You never know what someone is going through. I've been there, so you have to always wish people love and try to have understanding, and just have an open mind.
Will gay America be your last rendezvous, or
Yes.
you think? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a business to run, darling. Definitely. What the journey has been hard. Most people will say to me when they come in the funeral home, "Oh, I bet you do makeup." I do makeup, darling, but I use chemicals. And once they come in my office and see that I have my diploma and my pictures and stuff like that, "Oh, you went to school?" "Yes, I have."
Right.
And the LGBTQIA members who have their makeup pat on their face and their tight pants and stuff like that, and have their pocketbook look at me because I wear high heels. I don't wear no Debbie's.
And they are extremely high. We've seen them.
Calves popping.
We've
I
seen
don't wear
them.
Debbie's.
Listen, was that because you were a dancer, you were able to wear them so high and because you're always in the air,
I'm
ballerina and stuff?
always on the
Walking
pole
on
and
your
stuff.
toes. Yeah.
Yes. So I love steroids.
Okay. What does Mocha's love life look like? Is she open to dating? Is she dating? Does she have a man?
Um, the current climate is absolutely horrible.
True.
There are too many sex apps.
Mm.
No one's looking to date. They're looking for instant sex. Everybody's trying to come up. I need a man that's going to help me get to where I want to get to. I need a daddy. I need a man that is 70 years old who has money, who want to invest in my company and help me. I don't
Okay.
send Ubers. I don't pay for sex. I don't party. So there's nothing I could do for. No, I'm single.
Okay. When you look over your life, what is the one lesson that you learned?
Never give up.
Mm.
Never let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do. A lesson my mother taught us as children. Yeah.
Gotcha. How do you feel the state of drag is right now? Is it good, bad, indifferent, up, down?
I would say too many copycats.
Mm.
Um, no one wants to put in the work, but everybody wants to be a star. And I understand that the internet, you don't have to do what the older girls did back in the day and do pageants and do bookings and all that now. It depends. I think it's rebranding yourself. Let's say that.
If RuPaul's Drag Race was uh, back in the day at the height of your career and you were allowed to do it, would you have taken the opportunity?
I don't know because it depends on how it fit in my life, you know.
Mm.
Um, no, because to me, RuPaul Drag Race reality show is not drag. It's not really about talent.
Mm. Okay.
So for me, no, I would say no. Mm-mm. And I've done a documentary before, so I know how those that reality
Editing.
stuff goes. No,
Mhm.
I've done one. I don't want to do another, honey.
When you say, I heard you said it several times, you protect your peace. How do you enter into that when you see something is happening? What's the first thing that you do?
Call on Jesus. Take a deep breath.
Mhm. And
I
woosah.
at work ask me when things happen, families start fighting, and I just stand there like, "Why are you just so still?" I said, "Because I'm gonna either add to it or I'm gonna stop it." Yeah.
Gotcha. Window?
I'm I've always been impressed with you, but and you know that, but I'm not trying to blow smoke. But there's one question I do have. It's kind of like novelty, but it's still a real question I've always had. The year you did Donna Summers at US of A,
Uh-huh.
where did you get that big ass carriage from?
A guy in Indianapolis made it for me,
And
and that
did you
was my
drive it down
tribute.
yourself?
Huh?
Did you drive it down yourself?
Yeah, me and my friend Big Red. He's no longer with me.
I remember
Uh,
Big Red.
yeah, he's no longer with us. Um, yeah, we drove down with that. Yeah.
So I think that you have a lot of tenacity. Like you've done, people may look at it, you did Continental so many times, but it takes tenacity to go back one time, right? So I think
Right.
that you just have tenacity. And so I think that it connects with what you do now as far as your career goes. It just shows the testament of your tenacity. So, what is some advice you would give to some of the younger girls that are coming up now that feel like their number is never called, their name is never called, they're looked over, but they're in a climate of social media that you were not in. So
Right.
now it's like 10 times harder. So what is some advice you would give them?
I would ask first of all, what do you want? Who are you? There is no formula, and try to help them to develop their persona, work on their weak points, and really sharpen their strong points. You know.
And then my last question, and I'll pass it back to Queen Trinity. But my last question, as far as this is concerned, is we have heard so many legends and icons that say they don't want to come on our platform, not because they don't want to come on our platform, but because they see all of the other shows that kind of gravitate toward gossip, rumors, and myths. And what I think that Trinity and I both kind of work hard to make sure they understand, no, this is your conversation. This is your conversation. So now that we're kind of on the other side of your interview, what advice could you give to some of our icons that are not comfortable coming on the show?
Well, oh, I don't know their situation, but just to protect their peace, and if they really want to come and
What made you change your mind? Because you said no first
so
too.
what made me change my mind is I love you both. You know I do. Um, but I don't really get on social media. I have someone that does my Facebook for me. I protect my peace. I don't want to. I never really. My son AJ been doing my Facebook and my Instagram and all that for a long time, like since 20 something. Um, I just, I don't know. I just protect my peace. I don't want to. I don't believe like talking about mess or whatever someone's going through. No, no. But I did this because I had girls that I had conversations with, and they said maybe you may not be for them, but you are for us because um, you represent us. Because I
Yeah.
walk in my truth.
Hmm.
I wear my 5-inch heels. I'm breaking doors down in my lane. I'm doing it
Yes.
for me. If I could bring others with me, then I will. But I never want to be like my daughter Mulan. I never wanted to be an activist
Mhm.
because I can't tell a girl what to do, give her advice when I have not walked in her shoes.
That's true. I think that it's important that when whoever comes on, they have their own different, like you said, you just was able to come on and talk about your family, your dad's situation, your career move, and then you were able to speak on, of course, things that we wanted to hear about at the community when it came to your pageantry career. So everybody has their own different type of lane, like you just said, and somebody listened to your story and took that advice. So I'm glad that you did decide to come on. Um, Misconceptions. Any of them that you want to clear up?
Yes. Um, I'm a very nice person. You just have to get to know me. Um, you know, people read me and say things like I'm for them, but yet when I see you at the white pageants, you trying to be accepted as well. And I am a part of that. Someone said to me at Continental, I had gone to Continental, and someone had said to me, "Oh, you're not gonna sit in the box." I, you don't know me. I've never sat in that box. I've always been amongst the people because the people, that's who made me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Okay. What would your children say about you?
My children, they love me. They do. I have a great relationship with all of them. I really do. Even my international children, I have.
So Rayshawn has transferred over and now he's doing drag.
Uh huh.
How do you like that?
I think that's a good thing for him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he call you
I'm
for
excited to see
advice?
him. Huh?
Does he call you for the advice and everything?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I wished it well for him. He's always been that way, though. He's been my
Okay.
child that if anything was going on in his life, I found out through other people. He would never tell me.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. He,
Yeah.
oh. One of the famous questions we always ask before we end, we have a couple of them, but one of them is, um, who do you see being a legend in the next 20 or 30 years? What up and coming girl or new girl are you fond of?
There's a lot. Let's see. I think um, I just said her name. Kamaya?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Mm, definitely Kamaya. Um, Alicia Lee, the
Hmm.
um, Ava Glasscock.
Oh,
Hmm.
yes. Love her.
And I'm giving you names of girls who I associate with.
Right, right.
Godfrey.
Mhm.
There's a couple of more. Um, there's a couple of more though.
Okay, that's good enough. Well, we like those girls as well. Kamaya's my Duval queen.
I
So
And that
number
love
was a
Kamaya.
diverse list.
Who is this?
That was a very diverse list, so I like that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mocha, what do you think or would you like for your legacy to be when you're gone?
Mm. Family, honest, compassionate,
Mm.
a servant,
Hmm.
and always willing to help those in need.
Okay.
Mhm.
Looking back, what would, and I don't know your age, but we'll say grown, what would grown Mocha tell 15-year-old Mocha?
Uh, oh God. Um, be careful. Be very careful who you align yourself with.
Mm.
Everybody is not your friend that you call friend.
Yes.
Yes, God.
Um, and never be afraid. to call on those that you know who really loves you, even if you think they're going to be disappointed in you.
Gotcha. Any regrets?
No, no,
No.
no, no. Um, no, and I tell you why. Right before Continental, August the 18th, I had a car accident.
Mm.
I was sitting at the red light after church, and she hit me so hard. I went past the intersection. Intersection. Um, I was out for a minute, but it was like a surreal moment. Like everything was like white and green and cream, right? And I'm looking around, but I don't see anything. And then I hear the sirens, and my phone was saying, "Do you want me to call the 911?" And when I opened my eyes, I saw my body was shaking, and I couldn't turn my neck. Um, but what happened was when you have a bruising, it's coloration on the body.
Hmm.
My bruising was inside, so I had contusions,
Gotcha.
which means everything was swollen. I wasn't getting oxygen or my blood flow. For the last 2 months, even at Continental, I had a back brace on. Um, my body has been very, very sore. Just yesterday, my arms, all of a sudden, I could move my arms again. And you know, when you have a bruising and it's healing, the itching, but this itching is the inside, I can't get to it.
Mm.
So I'm blessed to be alive because now I know when we wear seatbelts and that impact hits you, that's why people die.
Hmm.
Um, and so I'm grateful. I don't have any regrets. My body didn't pop back like it normally would have, being a younger, because I'm older, I'm wiser.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and I hope to
You
be ready.
speaking
I hope to be ready for June 17th and 18th.
speaking of
Can't wait.
bodies, speaking of bodies, you do know that you are deemed one of the great bodies in the industry. Coca-Cola,
Thank you, darling.
just
That's why they can't
Jessica
take me.
Rabbit.
The kids can't take me
Jessica,
in the funeral home, honey. That's why I wear jackets and cover it all up, honey.
did you always envision that Jessica Rabbit elude, or was it just something that happened?
So back in the day, I wanted to be like Lena Horne and Vanessa Williams and Jessica Rabbit. Um, yeah,
Okay.
but you know, the boys see me coming at work, honey, and they don't be playing with me, and I'd be like, "No, sir,
I'm here to
I'm
do
here
my
to
job.
serve." I
Um,
had one guy, a family I had served. He was their officiant, and he had showed the people a picture of me performing.
um,
I was never so through.
how do you feel about that when your tea is spilled or they out you? Does that
Child,
matter
you
to you?
can't out the towel, darling. I'm an open book.
Okay.
It's nothing. I'm not ashamed of anything. I'm
Mhm.
not.
That's
No,
good.
that's why I'm who I am. And now that my family accepts everything that I've done, because they realize that this has changed,
Mhm. That
this
hasn't.
hasn't changed. They know who I am.
Right.
My mom, when I go home and I do shows, she wash my drag. But if the drag in the car, she reads me. She even marks having a ruffle coat on, and she opens, she shakes it down. That's how you do it. I said, "Yes, mother, you
Yes,
got it."
yes, because you known for that and doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I can't do it right now, but yes.
Right. King Nugget.
So at the end of our conversations with our icons, we like to get a nugget or two that you could pass to us or to the viewers that we can just take along our careers, be it in performance or just in our everyday lives. So is there a nugget that you could leave with us? You left many nuggets, but if there
Yes.
was one in particular.
Well, you know, I don't. If you recall during Black America when gave my speech, I said, "Please be nice and go out and vote."
Mhm. Right.
Um, I have so many conversations with people, especially men of color. who just don't see a black woman and
Mm-hmm.
don't want to vote and should vote, um, to respect one another. We need to get back to respect. People don't respect no one. And everybody goes from 0 to 100 real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You must always remember, you may be bad, but someone who's a little bit more.
Oh yes.
To be careful of that.
Right.
To love yourself, to try to help others, and stay on a positive track.
Gotcha. Where can we see you besides at Gay America Film in January? Where are you on the show anywhere? Will you be touring
Uh,
anytime soon?
I don't
No.
have time. I work
Okay.
6 days a week.
Okay.
Um, if you come to Chicago, once a month I do disco at Roscoe's.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe every other month I may do it one night on a Saturday at Hydrate.
Mm-hmm.
When I go home, I may perform. No, I'm not. I ain't gonna lie. No.
um.
I mean, I love the people in New Orleans. I make great money.
Yeah.
But when people think they could tell other folks, do this song because that makes you money because make Mocha money, it does not.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing that. There's an essence that I think each person should possess and
Mm-hmm.
find out who you really are, your
Mm-hmm.
truth. Um, yeah.
Will you be at EOY this year, next month?
Yes, I'm taking off. That's home, honey. I gotta go see my people, baby.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Will you be at Black American March with your people? All right. Well,
We'll
Mocha,
be
thank you
talking.
so.
Well,
We
will you
you we
be?
did it
Well, we're
again.
going to send you an invitation November 23rd and 24th, and we'll see if you can make it to Atlanta, Georgia for the give up of Renaissance and Renaissance Opulence. We'll talk.
Mocha, you have gave us an hour and a half of great conversation. It wasn't
Yeah.
that bad, was it? See?
No, it wasn't that. It was what we talked on. I just felt like I didn't want to deal with. I didn't want to deal with the comments because I have my people, and my people are very protective. And then people say crazy things,
Yeah.
and people feel like, oh, she's put. I didn't want to deal with that. But like I said, after I spoke to you two, and I love you both, and then I spoke to my girls I mentioned, um, I decided to, and you asked me about other girls who like Jasmine and Miss Tommy and Tasha, Cezanne, Mimi, all those girls. I have a great time with. I love. I respect because that's how we grew up.
Right.
I remember when I was going to Florida from Atlanta, and I was talking to Tiffany Aragas, and she said to me, "Come on, darling, come on down. We got lots of places down there for you." Then when I spoke to another legend, who's no longer with us, she was like, "Well, you might as well stay where you are, go back to Alabama because there's no room for you in Atlanta." So yeah, it's just you gotta just find the right people that's gonna love you and guide you and
Right.
help you be who you want to be.
Do you still talk to Tiffany Ariagas?
I do, my dear. She's my dear.
Tell her we want to talk to her. I have to
Okay,
have her on.
you got some money though. I
I
will
know.
tell.
But
I
no,
will tell her.
yes, tell her I've been
Yeah,
trying to reach her.
yeah. But
But
you guys missed some great legends no longer with us, like Erica Adams and there was another girl from Cherie Neville from
yeah,
Florida, like some dancing girls back in the day. Like,
yeah,
Miss Poochie was a dancing girl.
yeah. I was
Yeah,
on cast when I was a baby with Sierra Fox. I would have loved to have talked to her.
that
I
thing.
would have loved to have had a conversation with her recently. She was such a
Now she
fun.
was just the opposite. She was urban and the hood as can be, and love her black man.
Exactly, baby. She did not play. We loved her in Dothan,
If,
Alabama.
Okay.
Um,
some of the places she had me, I'm glad look. I'm glad I'm alive
Oh Lord.
because
right.
she was. That's my
She
girl.
was a character. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Mocha, for this hour and a half. You went over, so we didn't We told you it wasn't gonna be no hour. Long as you can talk. So we're glad. We know that you have to get up and go to work and
Yeah.
stuff. And we appreciate you again for this conversation. It will stay up. People will come back and watch it. I'm sure. Like we tell everyone else, your inbox will be flooded because people are so grateful that you were able to open up and talk. So be ready for that.
Tell AJ to
Okay.
let you know what they
Tell AJ
saying.
to let you know when everything comes through since he watched the
I'm
page.
sure my phone will be ringing shortly,
Right.
because I have a couple of sons who are just overly protective.
Right. Gotcha. And that's how they should be with their mom.
Yeah.
Mocha, we thank you. We love you. And we hope to see you winning in January. So we can get you all over and get to doing this again and all of that.
Well, I'm not sure about that because
Uh-oh.
I think some over there at Miss Gay America Film, there were some people saying, "Oh my gosh, you get naked, da 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 da," and that's not Miss Gay America. But what they fail to realize is, you don't know me, you haven't followed my career because my whole career I wasn't naked. I wore hip pads. I wore stocking. I'm a professional.
Right.
I got this.
You got this.
When I'm bringing, it's gonna be a good competition.
My Duval sister, your daughter, Mulan, wants to know, is she the prettiest daughter?
She is. Now Mulan is my Florida set of children.
Okay.
I, that child has a heart of gold.
She
I
does.
love. I met Mulan when Mulan was very young, and I met her mother. Yeah, I love Mulan.
Okay.
And
Well,
Corey
good.
Mon is a Montrese.
Okay.
I was his first mother
Oh, okay. I didn't know
from
that.
Alabama.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was at Alabama State. Yep. Okay.
He was
That
my
makes sense.
baby.
That makes sense. Well, thank you, Mocha. You get you some rest. And we will see you on the journey to Miss Gay America. Well, I'll see you at ELY because I'll be there to watch.
Yes. Do you
But
drink?
I do not.
No.
But I can get a hug from you.
She don't even want a strong Sprite.
Mm-mm. She couldn't. She could have made it back in the day, honey.
No. No,
If
Listen,
she would
Mocha,
have
real
made it. She would
quick.
have been
I
the one
have a
driving
drink,
everybody.
that was a
Somebody has to drive.
two-piece back in the day.
She would have made it. She
Mocha,
would
I
have
have
helped
one
some of them
inbox
make it.
question for you. One inbox question. Someone wants to know about glamour shots. You took some glamour shots
Oh,
one
so
time?
no, 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 no. That was another job I had.
Okay.
So Jason McLaughlin. You know Jason?
Yes, yes.
So Jason and I was see, yeah, like I told you, I used to wear this big Jamaica hat with all my weave
Yeah.
in it.
Uh-huh.
Um, I was at Glamour Shots and he came and he was a manager. He didn't know who Mocha was. I know who he was. But we became good friends. He would do my hair, my makeup, and dress me for pageants and stuff like that. So yeah, Glamour Shop was in Gwinnett Mall
Uh-huh.
back in the day. Oh yeah, I've had many jobs. I've
Right, right.
child, I've been a carpenter. I've built walls and things. I've done everything.
I remember right before we go, I remember when I first met you. You probably don't remember this. When I first met you and saw you, it was at the Fat Boys, maybe like when I lived in Montgomery, like 2009. You
Uh-huh.
came in, I think you came in to get some things made. And you came from around the back and you had these big, pretty eyes and this skin. I was just like, oh my God. So when you left, I went back the next week. I was like, that's Mocha. You don't know Mocha? I
Mhm.
was like, I don't know who
Yeah.
Mocha is. But that was my first introduction to you, of course. From then on, I heard about you and stuff like that. So yeah, you never know who you touch and who you will see behind the
No,
scenes.
no, you would
Yeah.
never ever know.
Hmm.
Well, thank you so much, Mocha. And thank everyone that's watching. And we want to remind y'all again that we will be at
Tell
Black
him be nice
Universe.
to me now.
We'll be at Black Universe November 1st through the 3rd. And then our give up is November 23rd and 24th, both in Atlanta, Georgia. And Queen will be at EOY. So you can see her, go up to her, give her a hug and a kiss and take a pic. And make sure you give Mocha some good tips because she got a pageant coming up. She's a working girl, but she can still use a tip.
Well, let me tell you this. I'm working. However, I'm doing my intern, and they're not paying me top dollar because I'm
Yeah.
working under their license.
Mm.
But you're blessed to have a paid intern, even if it's a little big. Because none of my interns were paid.
Thank you, God. So remember,
Oh,
go out and vote. Vote, vote, vote.
Vote
vote.
November 5th. Woo!
All right.
And vote
Thank you.
blue.
We love you, and we'll see
Love you
y'all
too.
soon. Bye bye.
Bye.